us that we can be a blessing. Today I want to introduce Angie Lamar, but before she comes, I want to be able to share with you, amen, who she really is. And then I'm going to ask you to stand and celebrate her with me. It's important that we celebrate those that are about to bless you. Because it's an act of receiving what they're about to give you. Amen. So if you're not happy for what God is blessing you with, at the end of the day, hallelujah, how can he bless you with more? Am I right, John? Hallelujah. So we're going to get excited today. Turn our cups up today. Amen. So Angie Lamar is entitled the Queen of Black Comedy. I've known her since she was young. In fact, she's known me since I was young. Hallelujah. So we're both very young still, in Jesus' name. She's one of Britain's top multi-award winning comedian. She's a businesswoman, a speaker, a writer, a director, a producer, a TV and radio talk show host, presenter. Hallelujah. Everyone said I'm going to talk to her later. Hallelujah. A sought-after international speaker, an author of her book, Full Circle. Hallelujah. Somebody do a circle right about now. Hey, glory to God. God's about to, just right, I saw some people. Things were starting to move. Space was about to be created. Hey, God's doing a circular. Back to greatness, back to prosperity. Hallelujah. Full circle. Her many awards include the Beacon Award, the Beam Award, 2 Biscuit Awards, and she's currently on tour with her own written and directed play of many. But this one is coming back to us in December, church. Amen. Saints of the Most High. So we can all go to celebrate and support Take Me Back, which is inspired by her love towards God. Saints of the Most High God, stand with me with all your strength and put your hands together for Sister Angie Lamar. Glory to God.
Thank you for having me here, Pastor. You know, you blessed me by inviting me to be here. Pastor Audrey and the elders, I greet you. And just to share with you that Pastor Audrey and I used to be in the same class at primary school. So she was well behaved then. And as 20-year-olds, it's come a long way. It's come a long way. It's really great to be here to celebrate with you. I'm a South London girl, so it's just wonderful to still be here. I live near Buckingham Palace now, and that's okay. Not really. There's only one queen there, yeah? And that's me, yeah. So, you know, we talk about expansion, and as Pastor Audrey was reading out my bio, and it's a little bio. My bio is over 35 years, and I was a little girl telling jokes at school, getting kicked out of class. In fact, I was excluded from Lewisham Borough after I was kicked out of Lewisham Girls' School. That's right, I was a bad picnic. When you say it nicely, it sounds nice. You know, I was disturbed, because today they're disturbed, isn't it? Back then we were bad, picnic, unruly, and my God, what we ever do with that as a child. That's what my mum used to say. So I was raised in the church. I grew up Pentecostal, Church of God in Christ, Kojic. So I go back to church, where if you were wearing lipstick, you were a Jezebel. You wore trousers. We weren't living like that. When I come back to church after 30 odd years, I realised church had definitely changed. Because back then, you knew what time church finishes now. Back then, we didn't know what time church finished. Church finished when it finished. You couldn't question the pastor at all. Even when your stomach was grumbling, you looked at the pastor and think, when are you going to finish? But you kept that in your heart. I remember the days when my mum used to put the peas on the fire to soak and go to church and come back. My mum had faith. She knew her peas wouldn't burn. That's real faith, isn't it? To go to one of those churches and come back and the peas is intact. I come from a church where we never had the screens. You didn't know what was happening. It was a songbook. Or the pastor would say, somebody lead the song. And those songs were so boring, let's be honest. You're loving it now with the blessed in the sea. It was lovely to hear that. Back then it wasn't like that. It was draw me near. just said to yourself, we'll just speed it up so that we could go home. And then when they had testimony service, they would be testifying like they were preaching. And the pastor used to say, when you come up here to testify, keep it short. But there was always somebody that wanted to testify. They'd come up and they'd say, praise the Lord, praise the Lord, praise the Lord, praise the Lord another time, praise the Lord another time. I know a pastor said to keep it short. Yes. But I have a song I'd like to sing. And they were never in the choir, they were never great singers, but they felt they needed to sing. They even had the cheek to look to the musicians to say, give me a key. Like, what key? You don't know keys. Then they start going, listen to the voice, listen to the words. Fill my cup, Lord. I lift it up. And you would look at them and think, stop this. So I come from that church. I come from a church where they told me how to pray. Prayer meeting was at my house every Friday night. I had to wait up till 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock to make biscuits and tea to give to the saints. That's how I was raised, growing up in the church. I was dying to leave church because I wanted to party. All my friends were coming back saying they're raving and they're doing this and they got boyfriends. And I'm thinking, no, I'm just here for the Lord. Wait a minute, something's missing here. So I used to sneak out and go party. Lucian Boys Club, some of you might know those clubs, so maybe just me. And the blues and all those places, I really wanted to go to those places and have fun. So I remember one time I sneaked out of my house and put the actual bedding in my bed to make my body. And I sneaked out, and guess how far the party was? Next door. My friend was having a party and I was going to that party. So I sneaked out and went to the party. I put on my mum's skirt. Sorry, not a skirt, her blouse. I had on my, remember the borderline skirts, tweed skirts. I was cute. And I put on the tie neck blouse, the cow neck. That was my mum's church blouse. But I was going to the party, I didn't care. So anyway, I get there. I'm enjoying myself. Everybody's dancing. How are you feeling? Hot, hot, hot. Then everybody looks at me and I'm thinking, do I look that good? And then they mouth to me, Mum, your mum is here. And I remember thinking to myself, how do you just die? You know when you just want to just die? And I remember walking to the door and I could see my mum with her nightie underneath the coats. And I thought to myself, why do you come out like that, lady? But I never said that. My mum I opened the door, my mum dragged me out, dragged me home, and beat me. Then when she finished beating me, she looked at me and said, it's all bros, yeah, Mum. And that was it. Another beating took place. So that's where I'm coming from. And as I grow up, I'm so glad that's where I'm coming from. Because sometimes people come from a place that is soulless. I used to think everybody went to church. You know when you get to school on Monday and say, oh God, we had to go to convention yesterday. And they look at you like, what's convention? And I say, don't you go to convention? And they didn't. And I used to think to myself, I thought everybody went to church. But it wasn't so. So some people didn't get the growing up that we got. And you don't realize how important it is until you grow up where you're coming from. You won't get it until you need it. My mum built her house in Jamaica. And she was watching too much Dallas and Dynasty. Because when she built her house, I thought, what is this? Because you know when they're going home, they're building their house. Because when my mum came home, all she kept saying, I'm going home one day I'm going home. Even the clothes I used to take off and put away after wearing them once, my mum used to grab them and put them in a barrel. I went to Jamaica and I could see my clothes running around naked. I said, that's over 30 years old. But my mum folded it up and put it in her container because she was taking it home because she was going home one day. So when my mum got home now, she bought her house and she called it Faith Villa. Because she built it on faith. Because the house that she built, you couldn't really build that house with the 9-to-5 job she had. But she used to believe in God. She trusted God for the jobs and understanding of money, and she built and she built and she built, and she got home to Jamaica. Now I say that because I always saw my mum pray and have faith. And my mum used to say to me, faith right up until the last minute. Amen. Real faith. Because people say they have faith, but they don't really test their faith. But as you grow up and you learn to pray, I only ever had faith. It gave me a confidence to become Britain's first stand-up black female comedian, radio talk show host, director, producer, and all those things. Bearing in mind, I got kicked out of school. Bearing in mind, it took Marsha Phoenix and Ross Howells to get me back into a school in Blackheath, and even then, I got suspended again. I just wasn't one of those kids, only to find out later that I'm severely dyslexic. So my thing was, I didn't want to read. I didn't want to read aloud because I didn't want anybody to call me stupid, because then I would have to beat them up. That was it. You call me stupid, I'm going to get you. So I didn't enjoy school. So years later, when I came out of school, I realized that I can do anything I want, because my mother kept saying, my father kept telling me, you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. So the golden text is to be found. When we were in Sunday school, it was going in, going in, going in. I can do all things, believe, have faith. All of those things that we were saying, we didn't realize why we were saying it. It's only when you get older, when somebody says to you, you can't do that, you go, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. Because I learned that at Sunday school. So for me, growing up doing what I do, there isn't a room I can't get into. Amen. There isn't a guest list I can't bypass. And not just because I'm Angie Lamar, because I have that level of confidence. Amen. Because we say we are fearfully and wonderfully made, but some of us don't believe it. Some of us are walking feeling like, yeah, I am, but I'm not. Oh no, I am. So much so, I was in New York and I wanted to play the Apollo. And I contacted the Apollo and found out who was the managing director. Went to the Apollo and said, listen, it's been my dream to play the Apollo in New York. They looked at me, went upstairs and brought security down with the managing director. And they said, who are you? I said, my name is Angie Lamar, I'm from London. It's been my dream to play the Apollo. And they looked at me and said, well, you're going to be my special guest tomorrow. Amen. I came outside and I went, whoa. Because whatever you ask for, you better believe it. I went home to my hotel, got ready, came back prepared to go into, there's 3 theatres in the Apollo. There's a 400-seater, 700-seater and a 3,000-seater. I was happy with 400-seater. When I walked in, they said to me, you're playing a 3,000-seater. I said, okay. Don't pray for opportunity, you know. Be ready when it comes. Because there's some people who say, I really want to do this, I really want to do that. But if you gave them the chance to do it, they back off. But whatever you say you want, be prepared, because somebody is going to come up to you and say, yes, you can do it. I was in Washington, D.C., wanted to meet Tyler Perry. I came over, my friend said to me, Angie, those tickets are sold out like a year ago. I said, not a problem for me. There's not a room I can't get into. And she looked at me, she goes, are you serious? I said, drive me to the venue, I'm getting in. Amen. She phoned her friends up and said, Angie thinks she can get into the Tyler Perry thing. Will you come with me to watch this? Picked up her friends, the queue went all around the block. I said to my friend, thank you very much, you don't have to stay. She said, no, I need to stay because I want to see how you get in, because you ain't getting in. Now I'm in the queue thinking, I'm getting in. I'm getting in. I don't care, I'm getting in. And she and her friends are looking at me like, this we have to see. A few people in front of me. And you know when you see those people in the door that look miserable, that they look like they're not going to give you any kind of leeway. So I'm getting closer and closer, and my friend's looking at me, I'm looking at the situation, I'm already inside because I'm getting in. I get right up to the door. The woman in front of me leans over and says, I don't need the extra ticket because my guest isn't coming. I leaned round and said, can I be your special guest? She said, why, sure. I looked over to my friends and I went, see ya! If you don't have that level of faith, then you're lying to yourself. Amen. Because you've got to walk up to the door for the door to open. Amen. And you've got to trust yourself and trust that you've got the mindset to do what you say you can do. When I was younger, my brother used to say to me, what the man can conceive, the man can achieve. Amen. So I used to think of so many things and think, well, if I thought it, I must be able to do it. And that's how I've lived my life. When I was on Choice FM doing the radio show, you know how I got that job? I just asked for it. I was putting adverts on the radio show to promote one of my plays. I saw the managing director. I went, excuse me, can I have a radio show? He said, all right. That was it. The fact of the matter is, I could have seen him and thought, let me put a proposal together. Let me put something together to... No. Can I have a radio show? Yeah? Cool. It became the #1 listenership on a Saturday morning. Because I believed in my vision. Because you've got to write the vision and make it plain. So when people visualize and say, this is how I see it, I saw myself getting awards. I saw myself going, I'd like to thank you very much for this award. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I did that. When I was a young girl, I used to come out of my bathroom and pretend there was paparazzi outside my room. I used to open the door and go, oh my God, they're still out there. When I used to run into the bathroom, have a shower, come out and go, oh my God, I wonder if I can get out without them seeing me. I was visualizing how I saw myself. Sometimes we wait on people to tell us who they want us to be and how they see us. I've never owned that. When my teachers used to say, Angie will amount to nothing, I said, I'm going to make you a liar. Because I'm not what you say I am. I'm who I say I am. And so from Sunday school, that was going in. You think you had motivational speakers now? When we had those old sisters telling us who we are and what we can be and how we can this and how we can that, it was true. All you have to do is believe it and receive it. And then you start to make plans to make it happen. I remember I was doing a play and I was at the Hackney Empire called 40. They had made posters of the play. Then they said to me one day, Angie, we're going to need the script. You know what I said to them? I better go and write it. So I had the posters out before I'd written the script. Every time I go and do a show, I write my review before I do my performance. And then I start to project how I want to see myself. And then I go to perform how I want to see myself. This is self-made. I'm self-made. No one has told me what and what I can't do. Every rejection that people have given me, I said, okay. When I go for auditions, I wouldn't get them because I'm dyslexic. So I used to make a mess. The reading, they used to look at me like, don't know what else. And I used to walk away feeling like, you're rubbish, you can't audition, you can't read. Then I never used to get it. What did I do? I picked up a pen and I started to write what I wanted to see. So I wrote Funny Black Women on the Edge. That broke box office and left, right and centre. And I remember sitting there thinking, I did that. I did that. Somebody rejected me, so what did I do? I created my own. Every plan that is a rejection is an idea for you to say, I'll do it. I'll make it happen. There's so many ideas. We're not supposed to be broke or poor. We're supposed to be abundance. We've got so much to offer that you think you're sitting there waiting for the man to tell you what to do. I've walked out of meetings and thought, not good enough for me. And they've looked at me and gone, you're arrogant. No, I'm confident. They've looked at me and called me uppity. Uppity. I think, no, I know what I want. You are not going to give me that. I know who I am. And I know what I bring to the table. So after all that and going through that, I became sick. I got sick. I had flu on the brain with my daughter, my last child, 19 years ago. And this was supposed to kill me. Because I don't know if you know, the pressure on the brain was being crushed. So where it's supposed to be 15, it was 52. So I had to have lumbar punctures every week. Now, if you know what a lumbar puncture is, you don't want that once in your lifetime. I had to go and take the fluid of my brain in Maudsley Hospital and then wait for the fluid to pile up again, to go and drain it again. And I said to God, after reading a book called Conversations with God, I wasn't a Christian at the time, but I knew God. And I said, God, what is this? And God said to me, you need to cut out the middleman and go straight to your audience. God is direct. He'll tell you, and you've got to hear it and go, I hear you, I see you, God. When I came out of hospital, I formed my company, Straight to Audience Production. I wrote a play called The Brothers. I don't know if anybody saw The Brothers back in the late 90s. My mum in Jamaica used to watch The Young and Restless. 7 o'clock, Young and Restless start. My mum would stop talking mid-conversation, because The Young and Restless has started. And I said to myself, I want to do something that does that. So on my radio show, I wrote The Brothers and made a radio drama. Only because I wanted to create something that makes you stop to listen. In my radio show, at that section, I brought in 60,000 listeners to that slot. Then I wrote the play, the radio drama, as a play. And it became Hackney Emperor's fastest selling show in the history bar Hannah. Only because when you get your first idea, it is it. The minute you try to undo it and make it fit what everybody's looking for, or you think about social media and you think, this will look great out there, you have to forget that. We are called to do some really great things, some big things. We're not supposed to be small. How can we be when we serve a God? I don't see why Beyonce should have a helicopter and I shouldn't. Or come close at least. We should be able to have those things. If you're serving your master and I'm serving my master's no less. So as I've gone through life, how did I get back to church? I got back to church because with everything that I had, something was missing. The depression, the sadness, the things that we hold, especially women. We're holding pain that goes back to kiss chase. Now I know we've got so many in there, you need to explain why we were standing still in the playground, nobody was kissing us. We stood there. Becky was okay, she got a kiss, her hair flew. My hair flies now. But we were dealing with rejection from a very long time. We were dealing with pain, and we were told to hold it. We're told to keep it to ourselves. Don't let people know your business. Well, if people don't know your business, they can't actually help you. So this silence that we put around ourselves is not going to help us. We need to put our hands up and say, I need help. We need to put our hands up and say, can you mentor me? We need to put our hands up and say, I just can't do this. We need to put our hands up and say, I feel low. I don't know why, but I just feel low. You've got to be able to say that. If you can't speak, people can't help you. And this is the thing that we have to undo in our community. We need to be able to say, listen, can we talk about this? And not be judged. And don't take people's business and throw it over there and mess around with it. This is one of the reasons why I left church. I saw some hypocrites. I saw some bad behaviour. I saw how they treated my mum. And I thought, I don't want nothing to do with church. Keep your church, keep your Christians, keep your God people. I'm not in it. I love God, but I'm not part of that. That's why I was out of church for so long. Didn't really care. I wanted a relationship with God, but I wasn't prepared to commit. I thought I'd get to 87 and be on my deathbed, and they say, is there anything you'd like to say? And I would say, will the Lord take me to the kingdom? It don't work like that. Because no one ever really explains to us growing up the benefits of having God in our life, the peace. My husband bought me a dog when I was going through that dark time, and I walked my dog and I could see the seasons. Because no one ever tells that we go through different seasons for the reasons. It's not all good all the time. So when I broke down one day, I was doing a play in the West End, and it was my ego that wanted that play. It was like a comeback show, one-woman show. I've always wanted the West End. You know when you want something and you think, I'll do West End, I'll do it big. And then what happened was, kind of fell through. My director said they've moved the show, they don't want your show. And that morning I woke up and I cried. I wrote a letter to myself. I am somebody. I'm somebody's mother, somebody's grandmother, somebody's sister, somebody's wife. I am somebody.
Amen.
I'm not what society says. I am somebody, and I listed it. I phoned my mum. There was a song that was played. The potter wants to put you back together again. Gospel music doesn't leave you. I played that song and I cried. I called my mum in Jamaica. I said, Mum, I don't know how to do this. I just feel so low. My mum said to me, put the phone down. I'm going to pray. And when my mum said she's going to pray, back off. The phone rang. It was my producer. Said, Angie, the show's back on.
Amen.
I called my mum. I said, Mum, the show's back on. She said, yes, because I told God I want an immediate response.
Amen.
She said, go to church tomorrow, Angie, and give God thanks.
Amen.
So I think I can go to church. I love church. I don't feel no way. I'll give a nice offering, say goodbye, bye-bye. I get to church, I see my friend from Sunday school. I said, Pam, what are you doing here? She goes, we all come back. I said, yeah, you come back. I've still got a few more raving years left in me. Then the pastor preached, and guess what his sermon was? I am somebody.
Amen.
And I went, that's a coincidence. I was just writing that yesterday. Then he started to talk about having people in the church that can do things like media and writers and directors. I kept thinking, it's a coincidence. And he didn't know me because he was a guest American speaker. Then he did an altar call, and I thought, I know the altar call thing. I'm about to bag up my bag so that I can bounce quickly. He came off the rostrum, then came back on and said, you today, you know who you are. You need to give your life to Christ today. And I said, that's me. And I remember driving home thinking, all the list of things I couldn't do, I can't swear, I can't do the cussing, can't work no more. And so when people pull up in the car and mess me around, I'm just going to have to say, bless you, bless you, bless you. And from the next day, the peace, everything that I always wanted to do came rushing back. I can do all things through Christ, who strengthens me. I can use everything that I've got for the kingdom, because I come to the kingdom for such a time as this.
Amen.
So when I've got 35 years as a writer, director, producer, and all those things, I wrote a play called Take Me Back. Didn't have the budget. I've never booked a show where I've never had the deposit for the theatre. I booked the show and I kept checking my emails thinking, when are they going to ask me for the deposit? I had an audition. I said, Christians, non-Christians, come on board this work that I'm doing. I don't have the budget. I ain't got the money. But guess what? I'm going to build it. They came for the audition in their numbers. I booked the theatre. They never asked me for a deposit. The show sold out, so they got their deposit. And we've been touring and coming back. I'm going to take it to America, to Canada, and to the Caribbean by faith. I'm coming back to tell you how great it was.
Amen.
So anything you have in your mind, it's not too late. I'm 53 this month. It's not too late. Those dreams that you have, those people that you always wanted to be around, that you've been too scared, contact them. Walk by faith. Trust yourself and your ability and your know-how. You talk about expansion. You can't expand in one space. You've got to move and go over there. You've got to travel. You've got to get on the plane and put yourself in a random place and expect things to happen. Because if you don't do that, nothing ain't going to happen. What you sow, you reap. Travel, get on the plane and walk into a different area. Go and see a production of a play or go to a conference that you think you need friends to do. Put your friends aside. Stop trying to carry company. Because you can't go as a group sometimes. Hallelujah. Go by yourself. Come on. And stand in that moment. Whatever you think you fear, you don't fear. Hallelujah. You don't fear it. You stand up in it and you go, if God is for me, then who can be against me? You have to believe that. If you don't believe that, you're kind of wasting God's time. Because God is saying to you, keep on moving. Stand up in the dark places. I want to be a bridge between the church and the outside world. I'm not trying to be in the church and talk to those who are saved. I'm talking to people who don't know God. When they see me, I must be a light. If your friends don't know you're a Christian, then you're doing something wrong. You've got to be the light in the dark place, so when you stand up, people go, what is it about you that makes me think that I can come to you? My friends now in the world phone me up and say, Angie, is it true that you're a Christian? And you've been a Christian for long though, isn't it? So you really are in that world. They read my post and they think, oh my God, they thought I was going mad. Now they phone me and say, hi Angie, can you pray for me? Because I have to be the light. Because I'm the bridge for them to say, it's okay. You can drink your wine. If God turned the water into wine, the least we could do is drink it. Just don't get drunk. So all I come to say with you today is that whatever you believe, you have to undo it. You have to write a letter to yourself and say, it is not over. My mum is 81, I took her to a class the other day because she's not stopping learning. You've got to keep moving. If you don't feel good about yourself, do something about it. Get your blood pressure checked. Get your sickness if you're feeling sick. Sort it out. Don't sit there and go, oh, well, anyways, because we don't have, I can't do it. Rubbish. Fix up yourself. Get up and walk in the morning. This morning, did you feel the weather this morning? I came out, I thought I had flu. I didn't know it was menopause or if it was heat. This is what God gave us in October. Celebrate yourself, because you know what? I lost my dad two years ago. And let me tell you, I lost a great man. I lost a great man. A great man. My dad, he used to sing a song. If I could help somebody as I travel along, then my living shall not be in vain. And if you want someone to help you, you have to help somebody. Thank you.